Now we are going to draw the seeded players for a knockout of 64 positions. 16 players are seeded. Please see the list on the big screen. According to the rules, number 1 seed Xu Xin from China shall directly go to position number 1. The deputy referee needs to put the cards already drawn on the table according to the sequence, which can be a reference and a later check of the draw. Seed number 2, Ultra from Germany goes to position 64. Then comes the draw for 2 players of Eco 3 who come from China and Chinese Taipei. Their possible positions are 33 and 32. Due to Xu Xin from China having already taken position number 1 in the top half, Chinese player Zhang Jike can only go to position 33, and this leaves the player from Chinese Taipei position 32. There are 4 players of Eco 5, 1 from China, 1 from Chinese Taipei, and 2 from Korea. There are already 2 Chinese players drawn to positions, and China has more players than other associations which needs to be drawn. So here we first consider drawing the next Chinese player. The previous 2 are in the first quarter and the third quarter respectively. Thus, the Chinese player can only be drawn into position 17 and 49 of the second and fourth quarter respectively. At the same time, Chinese Taipei 1 is in the top half, so Taipei 2 can only go to the bottom half. Moreover, 2 Korea players must be split in 2 different halves, which means position 48 and 49 are taken. Taking all these factors into account leaves Chinese player Yan An with position 17 being the only possible option. Next, we draw a player of Chinese Taipei into 48 or 49. When conducting the draw, the referee can shuffle the cards beneath the table and then put the cards on the table. Representatives with name cards shall then put their name cards onto the number cards they prefer. Then, referee holds up the cards and shows the results. Chinese Taipei goes to position 48. The 2 Korean players shall then be drawn into position 16 or 49. Korea 1 goes to 49. And Korea 2 to position 16. Now, it comes to 8 players seeded Eco 9, which contains 2 Swedish players, 1 Korean player, 1 German player, 2 French players, 1 Denmark player, and 1 Chinese player. As previously, consider Chinese player first because China has more entries. The previous 3 Chinese players have been drawn into the first, second, and third quarters, which means China 4 can only go to position 56 or 57 of the fourth quarter. The result here for China 4 is position 57. With China 4 positioned and 2 Korean players positioned, we conducted the draw for the other Korean player. Since Korea 1 and 2 have been drawn into the first and the fourth quarters, Korea 3 can only be drawn into positions 24, 25, 40, and 41 of the second and third quarter. The drawing result here is Korea 3 into position 40. For German players, Germany 1 is in the bottom half. Thus, the German player has to be drawn to positions 8, 9, 24, and 25 of the top half. Now we conduct the draw for German player number 2. The result is position 25. For 2 French players and 2 Swedish players, first separate them into different halves respectively. The referee takes out cards for up and down. First, separate French players. France 1 goes to the top half. And France 2 goes to the bottom half. With position 8, 9, and 24 left in the top half. France 1 is drawn into position 24. With position 41 and 56 left in the bottom half, France 2 is drawn into position 41. Likewise, we separate 2 Swedish players into different halves. Sweden 1 into the bottom half, and Sweden 2 into the top half. Only 1 position is left in the bottom half, so Sweden 1 goes to 56. Finally, we draw for Sweden 2 and Denmark 1. Sweden 2 goes to 9, and Denmark 1 goes to position 8. That's the end of the draw for seeded players, and the referee needs to check the results one by one carefully. The deputy referee needs to take photos of the result as a record. Non-seeded players are drawn by computer.